Happy Monday. What's going on? Monday, May 6th. Here's your math. Colored pages 565, 567. Homework page 193, 194. This is what I need for you to send me Tuesday, May 7th by 3 o'clock. You're going to need your protractor. You're going to need also a blank line piece of paper to show some work. This is a chapter that is challenging. This lesson today is going to be very busy. So pause, get these pages ready to go. And here we go. All right. Check this out. All right. So let's see where we are. All right, there we are. Eleanor designs wings for biplanes. So here's a biplane. See the wings, two wings, bi being two. First, she draws a right angle. Well, we know that the right angle ABC is what? Every right angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so there's our right angle right there, A to the B to the C. Then she draws BE. See what she did right here? She drew this angle right there. So she took her straight edge and she did a 90-degree angle, and then she drew this one right here. She finds that the E to the B to the C, that this guy right here is 30 degrees. So if this whole thing right here, okay, and I'm going to highlight it here, if this whole thing right here, okay, and actually that's the same color, which is kind of silly on my part, this whole thing right there is 90 degrees, all right, and I mark this guy out, and I say he's 30 degrees, okay, the whole thing is 90, and I just use 30. Well, what is A to the B to the E going to be? ABC is decomposed into two non-overlapping parts. So EBC and ABE do not overlap. These are not going to overlap. So the measure of right angle, ABC, is equal to the sum of its parts. So here it is right there. So they took what we did here and put it down here. Here's your right angle. We know that that whole thing is 90 degrees. If I've used 30 degrees, what does that leave us? 90 minus 30 is 60. So we know that the A to the B to the E is 60 degrees. This guy's 30 degrees, and together it would equal a 90-degree angle. So review that one. Okay. And did I just skip a page? I did skip a page. That's page 566. Flip it back over. Let's do the first page. That's my bad, but it's still good. So it says to draw a BC that divides the A to the B to the D. So here's your angle symbol. Here's your ray symbol. That's a ray. Okay, so that's a ray. There's your angle symbol. Can't believe I just did that. Lesson 15.5, add and subtract angle measures. You can use addition and subtraction to solve problems with unknown angle measures. So you can look for relationships with the three angles you measure. How is the sum of the measure of the two smaller angles related to the measure of the larger angle? All right, so what we got to do here is we've got to figure out what this measurement is. So I'm going to increase one of them, right? Here's your vertex, right? Okay, so I'm going to, remember how you can roll this around? See this right here? Take your vertex, put it in there. One of those lines has to go through the green. So is it 110 or 70? Is it 110 or 70? Okay, so it's an acute. And a lot of you need to review this. The acute will be from 1 to 89 degrees. This guy was 70 degrees. So the angle ABD equals 70. Now here's what they want you to do. Okay, draw a ray that divides it. So they just want you to take your protractor and draw a ray. And put a C here. Okay. Now, for you, it's going to be different than mine. Mine might be similar. So now watch what we do. Take that, place that on the vertex of the B, put a line through there. Now we got to figure out, what did I draw? So mine's pointing, I'm going to say it's going to point right between 40 and 50, or 130 and 140. So which one should we go with? Well, since it's an acute angle, all right, I'm going to go with 45. So if this guy's 45 degrees, okay? So if this guy right there is 45, the whole thing was 70, right? So what does that leave this guy right here? That's my unknown, okay? So we're going to figure that out. So ABC equaled 45. What's the angle going to be for CBD? Well, if the whole thing equaled 70, and I've already used 45, how do I figure him? 70 minus the 45, and I'm going to get that guy's 25 degrees. I don't even have to measure him because I know the whole thing was a 70, right? I took this angle and I measured him and I got 45. So the question mark is, what's this guy down here? he's going to be a 25. All right, pause it, write it down. Now, how can you relate the measure of the two smaller angles to the measure of the larger one above? 45 degrees plus 25 degrees equals 70 degrees. And there it is. That's just taking these two. Let's flip it over to 566, what we just did. Read about your biplanes again. Same thing. We know the whole thing was a 90-degree angle. If I gave you 30, that leaves 60. Now check this out. Make sense and persevere. Make sure, can you see it? Yeah. Angle ABD is a straight angle. What do you know about a straight angle? This whole thing is 180 degrees. There you go. What is the measure of ABE? See that acute angle? If the measure of DBC, so the D to the B to the C, this angle right here is going to be 115. The CBE, this guy right in here, is going to be 20. They want to know this angle right there. Well, here's the deal. The whole angle is already a 180. See that? It's 180 degrees. Does that look like your protractor? Exactly. So if I've given you 115 and 20, what does that leave us? So you have a couple ways you can do this. You could add and subtract and add, whatever works. I'll show you what I do. You ready? I take 180, right? And I've got that ready. Okay? I'm going to take 115 and I'm going to add the 20. And I'm going to get 135. I'm going to take that 135 and I'm going to subtract it from the 180. I'm going to regroup. And my final answer is going to be that angle ABE equals 45 degrees. There's your final answer. So we knew the whole thing was a 180 because it's a straight angle. I gave you this angle, the obtuse, gave you this acute. They said, all right, what's this acute here? All right. All right. So far, not too challenging, but a little bit challenging. Okay. Use the information below to draw and label a diagram. Make sure it's still rolling. Yeah, we're good. All right. Angle PQR measures 45 degrees. Angle RQS measures 40 degrees. Angle PQR and angle RQS do not overlap. Write and solve an equation to find the measure of PQS. What do they all have in common? Their vertex is the Q. That's where they all meet. Now we could draw a picture of it, label it out, but we could also use our math. So if one angle is 45 and the other one is a 40, put those together and what do we get? 85 degrees. There you go. As a picture, you might have an angle like this and an angle like this, and together they would equal 85 degrees because you'd have 45 and 40. Now we could measure it out and use this here, but right there is what they're looking for. All right. Use the diagram to the right of each exercise, write and solve an equation to find the missing angle measures. And you got to look closely at this one. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make some markings on that one so you can see it. What kind of angle do you see? Yeah, right here. You see that right angle? So the A to B to the C, we know that the whole thing is 90 degrees. Okay? It says, what is the measure of angle EBC if this is 20? So if this guy's at 20 degrees, we know the whole thing is 90. 90 minus 20 is 70 degrees. There you go. Use your knowledge of your right angle. Use the knowledge of your straight angle. That's what we did in the last one. Here it is again. What is the measure of AEB? See, they want this acute angle. I mean, this obtuse angle. This is obtuse. If they give us the CEB, if they give us this acute is 68 degrees. Well, ask yourselves, what kind of angle is this? It's 180 degrees, right? So if they gave you 180, we know because it's a straight angle, take away that 68, do a little regrouping. And your final answer is 112 degrees for angle AEB. Now, some of you might be taking this to measure. You don't need to. Use your knowledge of a straight angle. They gave you a piece of the puzzle. You find the missing part. With me? Pause it if you have to. All right. For 4, 5, 6, and 7, we're going to use this guy. Write and solve an addition or subtraction equation to find the missing angle measure. What is the measure of FG, F to the G to the J? If the J to the G to the H is 22 degrees. Okay, he's 22 degrees. See that acute? Now, what's this whole thing? From here to here is 90 degrees. So, if they gave you 22 of it, 90 minus 22, what do you get? Regroup, 68 degrees. So this guy's 68 degrees. 4 is done. Look at 5. What is the measure of KGF? Okay, if EJK is 59 degrees. Now look over here. Do you still have a right angle? There's your square corner. So 90 minus 59. What does that equal? Do the work. Regroup. 31 degrees. See that? All right. Now use the angle measures you know to write an equation to find the angle measure of E to G to the H. What kind of angle is E to G to the H? Okay, so connect the EGH. What do you see? Yeah, it's a straight angle. What do you know about a straight angle? Yeah, it's 180 degrees. Okay, so what could we do there? We could add them all up. 59, right? This guy, what was this guy in here between? I didn't write that number in here. He was 31. I forgot to put the 31 there. This guy was 68. So 59, 31, 68, 22. Add that up. 9, 10, 20, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, 8, 9, 10, 180 degrees. There you go. Now, which two non-overlapping angles that share a ray make an obtuse angle? So where do you see an obtuse angle? Right? You got one here, right? There's one. There's two, right? So there's a couple of obtuse angles there. So angle KGF or FGK, right? Angle symbol FGJ or JGF, all right? So these guys can be two of them. So you had KGJ, KG, oh wait, was it KGF, KGF? Oh no, why did I put KGF? Which two am I sure I'm making up? Oh, they're saying which ones make it. Okay, so which two angles make them? All right, so if you take this guy and this guy, FGJ. So these two angles right here would make it. Now, if you want to tell me EGJ is an obtuse angle, KGH is an obtuse angle, that's fine. But they're asking you for which two would you put together to make an obtuse. So put a star by this one and review that one. A little tricky in the wording. They caught me there, and I just caught myself. Got it? All right. Back page. Have your line paper ready. All right. Shane says a straight angle always has 180 degrees. Is that true? Yes. A straight angle always equals 180 degrees. Okay. All right. Tala earns 85 cents per can she recycles. If she gets a nickel for each can, how many cans does Tala recycle? So 85 divided by 5. All right. 85 divided by 5. 8 divided by 5 is 1. We get a 5. 3, bring down the 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So our answer is 17. There you go. 17 cans is what she has. All right, Alex draws an angle that measures 110. He then draws a ray that divides it into two parts. So 110 divided by 2. Let's go over here. 110 divided by 2. Can't do that one, but 11 divided by 2, 5. We get a 10. 10 divided by 2, we get a 5. We get a 10. Our answer is 55. 55 degrees. Make sure we put that degree symbol. 6 angles share a vertex. A vertex is that point to where they all meet. Each of the angles has the same measure. The sum of the measure is 330. So 330 divided by 6. So let's come over here again. Line paper. 330 divided by 6. Can't do that, but 33 divided by 6 is 5. 30. Bring down the 0, divide again. 30 divided by 6 is 5. We get 30, and our answer is 55 degrees. All right. Now, number 12, put a star by it. This one's going to be a challenging one, but we're going to break it down. You with me? Okay. Lee uses pattern blocks to make a design. Okay, he puts 5 pattern blocks together as shown in the diagram. The measure of LJK. So the L right here, see that right there? I'm not going to highlight it too much because I got to be able to see it. So right there, this guy right there, that's 30 degrees. Okay. Name all of the 60-degree angles that share that point as J. Name all the 60-degree angles shown that have point J as a vertex. So here's your vertex. They're all using that J. PJQ, PJO, OJN, NJM, MJL, LJK. So they put them all together. But they want to find all the ones that make 60 degrees. So how many would make 60 degrees? 2 of them, right? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. They have 4 of them that would work. Okay, so let's break these down. You ready? We're going to do this together. We got K, KJM would be 1. Okay, we'd have LJA would be another one. Wait, let me see. LJN. And why did I say A? LJN would be another one. Then we come over here to the M, to the J, to the O, MJO. Okay, and then we would have NJP. Because they want to put 2 of these together and form them. So there's 4 of them there. That's a tricky one. Pause that, get those written down. All right, this next one, we're going to work on this together and kind of peek through it. Let's talk about it. Carla drew 2 acute non-overlapping angles that share a ray and labeled them JLK, KLM, angle JLK, angle KLM. The 2 angles have different measures. Carla says JLM is greater than a right angle. The vertex here, okay, is going to be the L, okay, the L, the letter L. Now, an acute angle is open, an acute angle is open less than a right angle, right? Because again, we know acute angle is 1 to 89 degrees, a right angle is 90 degrees. Is it possible for Carla to be correct? Yeah, it's possible, yes. So let's talk about it, okay? The 2 angles could be greater than 90 degrees, okay? All right. Write an equation showing one possible sum. Now this is just us coming up with numbers. We could sit there and say 1 was 45 degrees, add that to 46 degrees, and we get 91 degrees. There's all kinds of different combinations we could do, but for our purposes, write that down. But again, here what I want you to remember this one is that we're talking 2 acute angles, so that's 1 to 89 degrees. They're going to be not overlapping, and we need to remember that a right angle has 90 degrees. And they want it to be greater than that, so it's got to be greater than that. Okay, pause it if you have to. All right, let's peek at the homework. Okay, so looking at their example, walk through what they've done here as an example. Okay, ADC is decomposed into 2 non-overlapping angles. We got BDC, ADB. So as we look at them right here, ADC, you see that one right there? What kind of angle is that? That's obtuse, right? The BD, the C, right? There's an acute, right? And then you've got ADB right there, another one, another acute. They form together so that the measure of ADB is actually a 90-degree angle. So they got a 90-degree right angle in there. The other one is 75 degrees. They put them together. This whole thing is a 165 because it's not a straight angle, it's an obtuse. Okay, so we can break around with that one. Okay, look at this next example. If we subtract, it's again using the same angles, the 165, the 90, and the 75. We could do 165 minus the 90 to get the 75. We could do 165 minus the 75 to get 90. There's different ways we can get there. So number 1, we're going to walk through this together, so hopefully you're paying attention and turn in the right answers, because we're going to get this knocked out. So if the TUW is a 120 and the WV is a 45, put them together, we get a 165. Now, if the total angle equals a 105, and we know it's going to be up to 155, that's going to be 50, because we subtract them, right? If our whole angle is 100, it's going to be 170, and we've already got 100, we need 70, okay? Because we're going to add going this way, subtract going that way. So what plus the 25 would equal 150? Well, if we subtract that, we get 125, all right? Add these together, we get a 148. Now, we're not looking for patterns. We're not looking for um, counting by certain numbers, okay? So it's adding this way to get to these numbers, or we're subtracting this way to get to these numbers. So really pay attention to that one. Now down here, write and solve an addition or subtraction equation to find the missing angle measure. So what's that n going to equal? So as we look at it right there, right, what kind of angle is that? And it's a square corner. We know that the n is 90 degrees, right? You see that? Yep. That n right there, we got a nice right degree angle right there. That one we're using our knowledge of a square. Now here, okay, see this right here? See the square corner? I want you to figure out number 7. What's the missing n? What is the n going to equal? Show your work. Number 8, what kind of angle do you see here? Right? You should already have knowledge of that one. I've given you the 60 and the 60. What's the n going to equal here? So you have 2 problems to do there. Flip it over. All right. Miss Willer wanted to donate 27 cans of food to each of 8 food banks. Then she wanted to do each of the 23 students in Miss Willer's class donated 9 cans. How many more cans does Miss Willer need? So Miss Miller wanted to donate 27 cans of food to each of 8 food banks. There's your first math problem. Now the 23 students each donated 9 cans. There's your next math problem. How many more cans does she need? Show your work, get me an answer. That's a review problem, so you're going to do that one. Number 10 says 2 non-overlapping acute angles, acute again from 1 to 89 degrees, okay, share a ray and they form an obtuse angle. So your obtuse is going to be from 91 to 179 degrees, okay? If one of the acute angles has a measure of 50 degrees, okay, what could be the measure of the other angle? So we know that it's got to be between 91 degrees up to a 179. This answer right here could be anything as long as it's at least 41 to, I'd say, 129 degrees. You could pick any number that you want in between there. Number 10 is done. That's a pretty challenging one, but it makes you think a little bit. Just review that. Okay. For 11, 12, and 13, use this diagram. Write and solve an equation to find the angle of NPO. Okay, so I want you to find NPO right there. Well, right here, look at that right there. Okay, there's your angle. See it? This whole thing is a what? You already said something. Now, if they've already given you 140 of it, what's that missing part right here? That's going to be for this one. What is the measure of angle SPR? Okay, SPR. All right. SPR. All right. If the measure of angle RPQ is if this is a 40 degrees, what do you see right there? What's going to be this guy? And that's going to help you get this angle right here. Okay. All right. Now, number 13, we're going to work through together. Okay. It says angle NPO, N to the P to the O. Okay. And angle RPQ, both share rays, QPO. Right there. Q to the P to the O. They share this part right here. They're going to share this 140. Do the NPO, and the RPQ have the same measure? What do you think? Yep, they do. Let's talk about why. Okay. Let's talk about why. You ready for this? Okay. So the NPO, N, P to the O, which you just figured out up here, right? Okay. And then the RPQ are going to be the same. They're both going to be 40 degrees. And that helps you with that one up there if you just paid attention to this. Because 140 plus 40 equals the 180. Or you could say 180 minus the 140 gives you the 40. All right. And it's going to be all about that straight angle. So check off 13. So right now you're doing 9 11, and 12, and then the 2 on the front. Down at the bottom, CMW and angle WML together form angle CML. If this forms a right angle, what's that? And 90 degrees. So they're saying what plus what equals 90 degrees. Well, give me two numbers. You come up with two numbers for that one. What two numbers would you come up with that would equal 90 degrees? All right. And then it says write an equation showing one possible sum. So that's over there. That's going to be over there. So what I need you to do is 9, 11, 12, and 14. And on the front, 7 and 8. All right. And that's going to tackle your math. Colored pages 565, 566, 67. We got that homework page done. See you guys later. Bye.